We're getting back at it with our Murrieta tours, and we are doing West Murrieta today. We're not doing West Murrieta. We already did that.
Paper.
Okay. We're getting back at it today. We are touring East Murrieta. Here we go. Hi, Jessica Genung here with the Genung team in Active Realty. So today we're doing East Murrieta. We've already done West. We're also going to be doing Central Murrieta, the Triangle area. So let's get to East. Okay, we're getting started. We're heading over into East Murrieta. We are driving by the last thing in the Triangle, which is the Super Target, my favorite Target in the area, and we're crossing the 215 freeway. So I'm considering anything east of the 215 freeway is going to be East Murrieta. All right, so we just passed the 215 freeway, and as you can see, I'm actually perfectly coming up to the signal here so we can talk about it a minute. The new Costco is really coming along. I did a video about the construction of this Costco, an update about a month ago, and they were saying that it was going to be done around June. That was the latest that I heard, but I've since received some updates thanks to you commenters that it's now looking more like August, but it's really coming along. So we'll see, but we'll try to keep you posted on that. All right, so we are driving by Vista. Murrieta High School is on my right. We'll try to show you some footage of that. And then we have SkyView Ridge, which is a condo and single family home community on my left. We actually, when we very first moved to Murrieta, I've mentioned this in videos before, but we lived in those condos, and then our very first home was one of the single family homes right behind these condos. So we like this area. It's very convenient to the freeway. Although SkyView Ridge is right across the street from Vista Murrieta High School, it is actually not zoned for Murrieta schools. Whoever did the zoning back in the day, I would like to talk to, but anyway, so it's zoned for Menifee schools and then Paris Union schools, so it probably got rezoned. It was zoned for Loma High School, which is way up in Menifee, but it probably got rezoned for the new Liberty High School, I'm assuming. All right, so we hung a left real quick on Whitewood from Clinton Keith, and so we're rolling by the other side of SkyView Ridge. We're also passing these new, what's it called, Meadowlark Point. The D.R. Horton community is condos. I believe it's sold out. We're also passing another gated community here, Granite Gate. That was built in the early 2000s, I would say. But the reason that I decided to come up here is because we're going to go by the Loma Linda Murrieta campus, the hospital. Really nice hospital. I had baby number 1 there. I've had a baby at each of the hospitals, one at Loma Linda, one at Rancho Springs. So if you're interested in my experience on the differences of having a baby at each of those hospitals, feel free to reach out to me and I'll let you know. Okay, so we're hanging a left here towards the hospital, but I wanted to show you that shot real quick of like Alderwood and Mapleton. In the interest of time, we're not going to head up there. That's very northeast Murrieta, but that is a lot of housing up there. You had a D.R. Horton community, you had a big Taylor Morrison community, newer homes, mostly zoned for Menifee School District. But next I want to show you, we've got the hospital here on the right, and then we're going to head back down Clinton Keith. Okay, so we are here at the Murrieta campus for Loma Linda Hospital emergency room. Like I said, had baby number 1 here. Had a really great experience. I've heard really good things about this hospital. The main campus is in Loma Linda, which is about an hour away from here. So this is the Murrieta campus, and it was built, I would say, I'm going to guess here, 8 or 9 years ago. So it's relatively new. All right, so we're turning on to Hunter. We have actually crossed Clinton Keith. Now we're in kind of like southeast Murrieta, and we're gonna go by the Los Alamos Sports Park, which is probably my kids' favorite park in the area. It's very large, it's covered. Most of the sporting events are going to be at this sports park, or there's one out in Spencer's Crossing as well. Like we have a baseball game, it's going to be at this sports park tomorrow. It will be crazy. So you've got baseball fields, soccer, they do flag football. Pretty much everything is going to be at this sports park that we have going on tomorrow. Okay, so I just pulled down one of these side roads that's right across from the Los Alamos Sports Park. I just wanted you to see what a typical street in the neighborhood across from the sports park looks like. This is a no HOA neighborhood. They're built mostly in the early 2000s, and we are just east of the 215 freeway. So we're heading back on Whitewood now, heading back towards Clinton Keith. We're gonna hang a right. But if we were to hang a left and go further down Whitewood, that would take us to another neighborhood that is popular in Murrieta and East Murrieta called Alta Murrieta. And that is one of the older neighborhoods in Murrieta. So you're mostly in the 90s, you have some in the 80s, and no HOA there, and that has some of your rock bottom taxes. Some nice streets in there. You have nice topography, rolling hills. You have Murrieta schools. Because they're older and in the downturn in Murrieta, a lot of those properties, were very, very inexpensive. Some even under $200,000. A lot of investors bought in there. There's some rentals. Pride of ownership kind of varies from street to street, but because of the low taxes and the no HOA, that is a desirable area. All right, we are getting to the end of the Clinton-Keith connection, which is a relatively new road that connects the 215 freeway with East Murrieta and Spencer's Crossing. So now the folks that live out here in Spencer's Crossing, which is where we're going next, they are going to be like 5 minutes from the new Costco. So it's awesome. It's like a 6-lane road. You can go 55. There is hardly any signals. There's one animal bridge. So this has really helped alleviate traffic for our area. We're just about to round the corner into Spencer's Crossing. This is the other sports park in our area, the Spencer's Crossing Sports Park. Both sports parks are public, even though it's right next to Spencer's Crossing, which has private HOA amenities. This sports park is public. All right, so we are hanging right on Baxter. You've got the elementary and the middle school right across the street here, and I decided, those are in Murrieta School District. I decided to go down Baxter because this is the road that splits Murrieta and my understanding of where the school district boundaries are. So on the left here, you have Mahogany Hills, which is right by Spencer's Crossing, but this is a separate HOA and not part of the Spencer's Crossing master plan community, but looks very similar. And then now that we're passing this stop sign, we're getting back into Spencer's Crossing. So on the left, this is the new construction side. Have had many clients buy homes in the new construction side. There was tons of builders in here. Pulte, Richmond American, KB Homes, Brookfield was the master developer, TriPoint, which bought out Party. Tons of builders in here. So like I said, this is the new construction side, and then this side is in the Menifee School District and zoned for the new high school, is my understanding, Liberty High School. And then on the other side of Baxter, that is Murrieta Unified School District and zoned for the two closest schools that we just passed on the corner of Baxter there. So Spencer's Crossing, super popular community, mostly newer homes, great amenities. The HOA is about $128 here for mostly everyone. It can vary a little bit, but it's right around that amount. You have two separate pool areas. You have the Oasis, which has 2 pools in its own. That is in the new construction area. And you have the club that's right across from the sports park, which we passed at the beginning of the community, and that has a clubhouse and a gated playground area as well. So the sports park is public, but the gated area by the clubhouse, Spencer's Crossing, that playground is for the residents only. All right, so we are leaving Spencer's Crossing right now, and we are crossing Winchester Road. So Winchester, this unincorporated area near Murrieta, the boundaries really kind of weave together. So we're going to be kind of crossing through Winchester to get back into Murrieta. So leaving Spencer's Crossing, which, so like I said, I had a lot of clients buy new construction over the past many years in Spencer's Crossing, but also a lot of people are buying resale homes and newer resale homes. Like I've had clients get homes that are like a couple years old in there. In fact, one of my clients that bought new construction in 2020, they decided they wanted to move to Tennessee, and we just sold their home. I think it closed yesterday, I want to say. So even if you don't, now all of the new construction is done in there, but you can get a very relatively new home in there. All right, so we're crossing Winchester Road, as I said. So Winchester Road, very busy road, goes all the way to the 15 freeway, goes by the Temecula Mall, Promenade, Costco, Lowe's, very congested area. Not so much out here, but once you get into Temecula, which is gonna take you about 10 or 15 minutes from here. So we've got a new grocery outlet on the left here, and also out here, because we talk about the pros and the cons, we know that you guys like to hear both sides of it. You have French Valley Airport, which is kind of a pro and a con. There's some neighborhoods that we're going to be going by that you do hear planes all day long taking off. They're smaller planes. It's like a flight school, so they're like pedal jumpers, a lot of propeller planes, but they are flying regularly, so you'll have some plane noise. And then also right by the airport is the Southwest Justice Center, and they do have some kind of jail there. It's like a juvenile justice center, I believe, and they have some kind of holding jail for the people that they're processing. It's courthouses there as well, so that's a con. Okay, so we're continuing to cut through this road here, going through the French Valley area. French Valley, Winchester, unincorporated towns, let's call them. Very popular right now, more affordable than Temecula and some parts of Murrieta. You can get a lot of newer construction, you can get bigger lots, so this area has been very popular. Some of this area is in Murrieta School District, some of it is in Temecula School District, which also makes it very popular, and I have a couple videos if you want to learn more about the area of Winchester. We will link those. So we are cruising past Alamos Elementary School is on my right, and we have Rancho Bella Vista, which is another Murrieta community, on my left. We are headed towards a community called the Promontory, which was a new construction community that's now sold out. But I will tell you a little bit about Rancho Bella Vista as we're driving through here. So they have an HOA here. It's around $40. This was a Lennar community, so for the $40 you don't have a pool or anything, but you do get the management, and it's very nicely landscaped. This whole area, Rancho Bella Vista, the Promontory that we're going to head to Central Park after this, is a very popular area of Murrieta because although it's in Murrieta, it's in Temecula School District, and the schools that it is zoned for, the Temecula schools, are particularly highly ranking schools for Temecula. They're almost all 8s and 9s across the board, according to greatschools.org, which is actually quite hard to find. We have great schools throughout those two districts, but 8s and 9s across the board is actually kind of hard to find for all three schools. Okay, we're cruising into the Promontory. We've got Bellevue on my right, which was the largest homes in the community. You have Brighton on my left, which is like the medium-sized homes. And then we're also passing on the left Calistoga. That was the smallest homes. So this builder is called Cornerstone. They're out of San Diego. They're a smaller builder. This was the only community around here I'm aware of that they were building. But it's all sold out. Like I said, I did have a couple clients buy in here. One of my clients got one of the last models over here in Calistoga. They got a really great place. So there's a cute park in here. You do have an HOA, no pool, and some views. Actually, maybe we'll hang down this street. I had a client buy a house on this street that got super lucky. These three were the models here, but they got on the same street with the view. Oh, it looks like that they're still building out the parking lot here, so we'll get to see that. These were the models. They were really beautiful homes. This ridge has an awesome view, and my client got on this ridge with this awesome view, so I'm excited for them. This section does overlook that French Valley Airport that I was telling you about, so you do get a little bit of plane noise over here. Pros and cons of this area. The main con, so these are the larger homes. We're in Bellevue here, but in general, the lots here are typically on the quite small side, which is typical for a lot of new construction. But if you want a huge lot, there are some pool-sized lots in here, but for the most part, the lots are definitely on the small side. Okay, so we just left the Promontory, and we are heading down here. We're pulling into Central Park, which is a big master plan community. It was mostly built in the early 2000s, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time here because I do have a whole very long video about this community with drone footage if you want to see that. It is a very popular community, and actually I would say that the Central Park star has kind of been rising over the years. It's more popular than I remember it being. Like, I was even looking in here for a personal residence back in the day, and lately it's gotten even more popular. So it's also Murrieta, but Temecula schools taxes are actually very low. HOA is only $50, and they have really nice facilities, pool, clubhouse, next to a beautiful park with volleyball and tennis. So you get a lot of value for your money in here. Pulte-built community, by the way. The whole community was developed out by Pulte. Okay, so I am winding my way out of Central Park right now, and when you come out of Central Park and you hang a left on Murrieta Hot Springs, you go down a little ways and you bend the corner onto Butterfield Stage, and then it turns into Temecula. So we're right on the Temecula border. So just right around the corner is going to be like Roripaugh Ranch, which is a very popular community. Been showing a lot of houses in there. And then just down further from that, you've got Sommers Bend, which is the only new construction going on in Temecula currently. Very, very popular communities. I do have separate touring videos of Temecula, so sorry that these take so long, but both towns are actually quite large. They're both about 115,000 people. It's the suburbs. It's very sprawling, so there's a lot to see, a lot of neighborhoods. So I have 2 Temecula tour videos, and we will link them somewhere. Also, if you want to check out one of my quite old videos, we have Murrieta versus Temecula if you're interested in learning the differences about the towns. I mean, they're very similar, but there are some differences. So if you want to learn about the nuance of both towns, we will link that video somewhere as well. We are coming up upon the Winchester Road, Murrieta Hot Springs interchange, which is 2 very busy roads that both lead to the freeway connecting. So we got like a 8-lane road going on here. We have 3 grocery stores. You have Albertsons, Vaughn's, Aldi, a lot going on here on this intersection. We're going to be going back down Murrieta Hot Springs and all the way to the 215 freeway, where Murrieta Hot Springs hits the 215 freeway. And there's going to be a Sam's Club there. We are going by the construction site for where the French Valley Parkway, I believe it's going to be called, exit is going to be coming out. So they are trying to put another freeway exit that is going to be leading us all the way over here, which should help alleviate Murrieta Hot Springs and Winchester Road traffic, which everyone will appreciate. Also, speaking of traffic, we have a whole video where me and Scott on my team discuss traffic and commute patterns. So feel free to check that out if you are interested in what traffic and commuting is like to and from our area. We're pulling into another neighborhood near Winchester and Murrieta Hot Springs, and the name of this community has changed. So I still call it SCGA because it's a golf course community, but with no HOA, because that's what the golf course was called. But now I believe it's called like the Club at Rancho, California, or the Golf Club at Rancho, California, something like that. But regardless, even though the golf course goes through the community, like I said, there is no HOA here, although I feel like it looks like that there's an HOA. Like, people, they take pretty good care in here. This community is relatively affordable. You can get some views. The golf course has a restaurant, so you have that nearby. Without fail, every time we're doing a neighborhood tour, you know it's going to be trash day, because that's just how it goes. Just once in my life, when we're doing a neighborhood tour, I want it to not be trash day. I don't know why trash day follows our neighborhood tour day, but just can't get away from it. Chris is making me film this part. We're passing what used to be my favorite car wash, Fast Five, over here off Murrieta Hot Springs. But now, over by where we live in West Murrieta, there's a new one, so I no longer have to drive all the way over here. I can just go to that one, and yes, I am very excited about it. It's the little things. Okay, so we are almost back to the 215 interchange here on Murrieta Hot Springs, and we're pulling into Sam's Club because we need to get a couple things, and we'll say bye here. See you next week. Thanks for watching.